One, two, three. Enough of that. All right. Sunny. This is a tune that gets called a lot. It's a good jam session thing. It's not a super long form. So at the time of this video, we're wrapping up the year at CSR's. The year is 2025. And this is going to two seniors, Kayla and Michael. So I'm going to miss you both, but I know you're both going to do incredible whatever you end up going on. I believe, I think Mike said he's going on to physical therapy. And Kayla, sorry if I'm wrong, but I think she's going on to rad tech, radiation technology, I think. I reserve the right to be wrong about that. But the point is, neither of those have to do with music, and that's amazing because the discipline that you worked on to be good at your instrument, I'm sure you're going to take it to whatever field. And I'm certain whatever both of you are going to go on to do, you're going to be good ones. So I'm excited for you. So with that out of the way, let's jump into playing some music. Speaking of music, so right out of the gate, I apologize for this chart. I kind of grabbed it really quick out of a fake book. I had to update a lot of the changes. So dig this. So let's, A minor. And one of the videos we're going to watch in a second that has John Scofield, Pat Martino, and Joey DeFrancesco. DeFrancesco, sorry. Wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. So right out of the gate, you got an A minor, and then it's a 2-5, 1 to F major. G minor, C, F, and then a 2-5, 1, 2 to A minor. I was putting half diminished here, but now I'm realizing with the melody note, I probably would have been better off keeping an E on top. So let's talk about some of the phrases that I'm doing here, or some of the voicings, I should say, rather. Let me get out of this guy. Unedited. Edited. Okay, so hopefully at this point we all kind of know our garden variety, good voicing for A minor, right? If that's 5th fret, you take that down 2 frets and you got your G minor. And a common practice is you could do, rather than a C7, we're going to do a C9. That goes really nice with the G minor shape, So this is 3rd fret. So, and then garden variety, good old faithful F major 7. Now, when we go to a B half diminished would be this, right? But, in my haste, I wasn't really considering the melody until I had to actually start playing the melody. And if we look at this, let me get this happening here. So right here. So what we want to do is we want to be mindful of that E in the melody. So in that case, I'm going to do a B minor 11. Function is the same, just we're accommodating that 11. So, and then we're going to take this voicing over here, and this is going to work nicely for our E7. Boom. Here, all right. All right. Rinse and repeat. So, Sonny. Sonny, thank you for the. Now, essentially, it's the same thing as a 2/5, but this time we skip the 2. We just go to a C13. That's kind of what I was hearing them doing on the recording here. So just to so we all feel part of it. C13, the one that I'm using, is this guy right here. And then I followed that up with an F major 7. Honestly, when I heard myself soloing over, I would probably go with a 9th, just personally. It's more of an opinion. But you could also turn this into an F9. And I kind of like the voice leading of that, personally. And the F9 I'm going to use is this guy. F major 9. So. And then going back to our changes here, B flat 13 rather. If you want, let's see, going back to our 13 voicing. You could also put the 5th there. It's a good little voice leading thing. Because then we got the B half diminished again after that. Or sorry, B minor 11, I should say. So let me get this happening here. B flat 13. This will be the 6th fret. All right, and at that point, you're pretty much, you're good with the. And there's a cool little thing that I do personally, and I know I've done this in other groups, and they haven't fired me for it. So take this or leave it. I think they actually do a B7. You could do a B half diminished. I'm kind of doing a B sharp 9. And then to get the voicing before that, sorry, F sharp half diminished. So make this a little bit bigger. No, I think we're fine. And you can just take that voice. That's a nice little thing. So let me re-record those chords now that I got this kind of happening. Let me go with the small iPad so you can see my hands a little bit better. Get rid of this guy. You can always rewind it if you want. All right, here we go. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I say with every video, if you don't know where to start with soloing, the melody gives you, that is the perfect place to start. You know? So, and what is this melody? It's an A minor pentatonic scale. So just in case, I have a feeling everybody knows this scale. I want to assume that because I, you know, I definitely came from a classic rock background. I mean, like between the Beatles, Queen, and Led Zeppelin, that was kind of my guitar education up until I was about like 15 or 16 when I started wanting to take jazz lessons. And it was all downhill from there. Anyway, 5th fret. There's so much music just in that scale. So I'm just going to kind of solo over this. And let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in and get a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4. I couldn't resist. Sorry, I had to add other notes. All right. Pentatonic. So here, let me think about some. Well, so many places to go. So I'm trying to think of what are the chords that are going to like take notes outside of. So E7 is going to have a G sharp. So I'm going to add these notes that would work over E7. Right? Let me kind of show you all the I'll put kind of the neutral chord. So what was neutral? All right, then you have a B flat 13. That one's a little spicy. So that's a cool little sound. B flat 13. And fun little fact, you can make those thirds. So like a major third, minor third. That's a kind of cool sound. So that's kind of that sound that'll go over B flat 13. And then when you got the B half diminished to E7, A harmonic minor is your best friend. So you would do the blue. I guess, you know, you would get rid of this guy. You would get rid of these notes. Oh my God. Oh, clean up aisle 5. All right, here we go. See, let's go with something smaller. Yeah, you would get rid of these notes. So anytime but you know, in general, A minor pentatonic is your best friend. And then when you get to the B flat 13 again, it's B flat Lydian dominant. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what's the best way to express this. I'm always trying to figure out how to like show this to you guys. So, but in a way that like kind of shows that they have more in common than they have than they are different. So if I were to kind of fill this out, I'm just gonna put green so you can kind of see what's going on here. So you're kind of seeing a lot of the notes are the same, you know. And I hesitate to show you a full scale because it's too much information. Most of the time when these changes go by, you got maybe like 3 or 4 notes. So I'd rather show you kind of like, you know, let's take an idea here. I guess also it goes to goes from A minor to F major. So you kind of go from a C sound. C. I'm thinking of something on the fly here. So let's take a simple idea. So right there, like, so you got kind of a F major, A harmonic minor, F major, A harmonic minor. So, you know, you can think of these sounds that are going into each other. Either of it is like A minor or C, however you want to think about it. It might be easier to think of it as a major scale because we warm up with major scales, so maybe that's easier to relate to. Then it goes to an F major, and then you go A harmonic minor. And then for that one little second when the B flat 13 is there, it's B flat Lydian dominant, or you can think of it as F melodic minor, and I don't know how helpful that is. So rather than get bogged down with the theory, you know, just kind of mess around with these. Maybe just limit yourself to those two strings. If you want, you know, again, you can get away with the whole thing with just, and hey, you know, if you got good tone, you got good phrasing, then you can make music with that. But, you know, I'm just showing you some other options here. So, all right. Maybe I'll do one course of just A minor pentatonic, and then maybe I'll start adding these other elements, so you can kind of hear the difference. So just purely A pentatonic. F major, A harmonic minor, F major. It's hard to talk in. All right, I don't want this to go on too long, but I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't at least share with you a little piece of like, so there was this video that came, I don't know what year it came, I was probably in college, you guys may not even been born, but, so this guy right here, let me check my levels here, I don't make sure you can hear me. So this guy right here is Pat Metheny, this is John Scofield, yes, this lick right here. Just keeps going and keeps going, right? This is about 2.5 minutes in. I think he keeps going too. It might be like 2 choruses. Second chorus. So that lick right there is just, he's sliding in. I got kind of a wink, which is like a weak pinky. We call it a wink, a weak pinky. So I play like, but if you want to be like Pat Martino, and there are worse things you could be like on guitar. Pat Martino is a pretty legendary guy. Pretty awesome that he pulled that off. And man, that left such an impression on me. I remember us like in college just cracking up, man. Be like, wow, man, he's still playing that lick. And like, how long is this? How long is this form? What is it? How many measures? 16 bars. So like 32 bars straight of playing that lick, pretty much. I know he breaks away from it towards the end, but you get the idea. So, all right, there you go. There's your lesson. Hope that gives you some ideas. I know both of you usually don't solo. Well, Michael solos sometimes, but typically Kayla, doesn't necessarily always solo. But I would love to see both try messing around on this, because it's not crazy changes, and the harmony stays in one spot to where you could dip your toe in and have some fun with it. Start improvising. All right. Hope you have a good one. See you in a little bit. Bye.